Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much to Ustaz Faris for our recitation of Al-Masurat. Okay, and thank you to all of you for being here. And Alhamdulillah, Allah still give us time and life, okay, to spend some of our time to, inshallah, to share and exchange knowledge, inshallah. Yeah. Alright. So this is actually the month of February, right? And in the life of teenager, and not just teenager, I guess, in the life of young people, okay, like you guys, not like me. There is like one big celebration, although it is actually not big, but some people consider it as big. You can see the proof even in social media. Okay, I can still see some of my students before. They actually celebrated this Valentine's Day. I was very actually upset, because they used to be with me in the class, but apparently the knowledge was, the knowledge remained in the class. It wasn't brought back to to their lifestyle. Yeah. Alright. There is actually one famous post. It went viral recently in the Facebook and also in Twitter. Some people said, Muslims, if you don't want to celebrate Valentine's Day, just keep it to yourself. You don't have to, to say to people that you shouldn't celebrate Valentine's Day. Okay? And actually, some Muslims shared that post and they thought it to be true. And I'm going to say it is actually wrong. In Islam, the responsibility of giving da'wah, amar ma'ruf nahi munkar. Remember, there is one ayat in the Quran, Allah mentioned, Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas, ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah, until the end of the ayat. Okay, Allah said, we are the best, or you, Allah said, you are the best ummah. Okay, you are the best nation for the ummah right now. Okay, provided that we can be the best, provided that we do three things in our life. Okay, amar ma'ruf and nahi munkar, and also we believe in Allah. Okay, and this ayat also was actually discussed during our session with Dr. Redha before. Yeah. Alright, so basically it is our obligation to do amar ma'ruf nahi munkar. So when you know that something is wrong, you should say it to people. You should say that it is actually wrong. When you know something is true, you should actually invite people and encourage people to do that true thing. Okay? So if you post on your Facebook saying that Valentine's Day is haram, Muslims don't celebrate that, you are not doing something wrong actually. Okay? You are trying to, or we are trying to fulfill our obligation to Allah, which is to do amar ma'ruf and nahi munkar. Okay? So my topic today is more like to highlight the academic side of Valentine's Day. Okay? Basically, I believe everybody in this room know that to celebrate Valentine's Day is haram in Islam. Okay? Even I think like the most lenient hukum given by ulama is actually makruh. Okay, which also actually close to haram. Okay? But majority of the ulama say it is haram. Okay, with actually a very good and valid arguments. Alright, and inshallah we will highlight it here. Okay, but my topic here, I put it a scam by modern capitalists and also a product of modern consumerism. The best thing, not just the best thing, the most unique thing about Valentine's Day, okay, especially in the Western country, for example, is all about exchanging gifts and also giving someone flowers or giving chocolate to someone that you love, for example. Okay, this is basically the essence of Valentine's Day. Okay, and believe it or not, this actually was promoted by capitalists and also the consumerists. Okay, capitalism, right? A system which promotes, what we call it, the accumulation of money. Alright, the accumulation of capital. So it's all about getting profit here. Okay, so when they sell chocolate to you, they are not trying to make you love someone even more, but they are trying to make you spend your money so they can get profit. Okay, the same thing with consumerism. Consumerism is one lifestyle which say the more you buy, you worth more in your life. Okay, and this is also very wrong. Okay, this is against the principle of qana'ah in Islam. You know what is qana'ah, right? Qana'ah means you feel satisfied. Everything is enough for you already. But it doesn't mean you have to improve yourself. But I'm talking from the perspective of spending your money, right? Okay? Alright. So what is this Valentine's Day that you speak of? Of course, my slide will be a little bit funny because I used to present this to teenagers. Alright. So every year on the 14th of February, people all over the world suddenly fall in love because a priest died almost 2,000 years ago. Alright? You know, one of the biggest mistakes of our people in regards to Valentine's Day, we always translate Valentine's Day in bahasa as Hari Kekasih. If you translate Valentine's Day as Hari Kekasih, you are still doing that, then you need to go and see Antilles or English team and you need to learn English. Because Kekasih is in English is not Valentine's, it's called lover. So if you say Hari Kekasih, it's supposed to be Lover's Day. So Valentine's Day, the correct translation is supposed to be Hari Memperingati Valentine. If let's say for example I announce, okay, today is Firdaus Day, should you translate that to be Hari Kekasih? No, that would be funny, right? It would be wrong. Okay, so Firdaus, yeah, Firdaus Day for example would be Hari Memperingati Firdaus. So the same thing with Valentine's Day. It is Hari Memperingati where you commemorate the death of a priest by the name Saint Valentino or Saint Valentine. Which will bring to the next question, why should I remember him? Or why should I celebrate his death? Or who is this priest? Yeah? Yeah, weird I know, but again these people think they came from monkeys. Right? Yeah. Okay, but seriously, what is it and where did it come from? Okay, let's see here. So Valentine's Day began as a pagan ritual started by Romans in the 4th century BCE to honor the god Lupercus. You know, if you study, for example, the Romans religion, okay, the Greek religion, for example, and the Roman religion, you can find that they believe in so many gods. And one of the Romans' god, okay, which was worshipped during the 4th century, okay, it was called as Lupercus. And Lupercus is actually in the form of what? Yeah, in the form of wolf. Okay, it was known as the feast of the wolf. Okay, and that's Lupercus, and he is a wolf. You can see the picture. Yeah, you can see even two people are worshipping Lupercus. Yeah, right. So the main attraction of this ritual was a lottery held to distribute young women to young men for entertainment and pleasure until the next year's lottery. So what happened during that time? Can you imagine the situation? It is like, you know, I'm basically the head of the lottery, the committee of the lottery, for example, and there will be women lining up here, and I will be selling this woman to the young men. Okay, for the sake of entertainment and pleasure. I don't have to elaborate that in detail. You can use your own wild imagination. Alright. Yeah? So you can see that I want a girl in the lottery. Alright? So they gave away the woman to random men to rape. So that's what basically happened during that time. Okay? Alright. So they also lashed young women covered only in a bit of goat skin and wielding goat skin tongs. Okay? Who had been smeared with blood of sacrificial goats and dogs by two young men. Yeah, it's very nasty. Okay? You know, one of the reasons, you know, if you visit, for example, the history of Western civilization, you know, the Western people or the Western country, they always, you know what you call it, they always quote something from Greek and Roman civilization. Yeah, they always try to glorify Roman and Greek civilization. And you know, I remember I read one book. It is actually written by one professor. I cannot remember the name. He said that because the Western people right now, they are trying to revive the lifestyle of the Roman and Greek. Okay, which is very pagan in nature. They worship statue. They no longer worship God. Okay, and they are very like, you know, they practice like what we call it free sex all the time. Okay, and one of the lifestyle of Roman and Greek was of course homosexuality. Okay, so they are trying to revive the lifestyle of Roman and Greek, and that's why they keep telling us the Roman and Greeks are the highest or the peak of civilization of the world, because they want to adapt the same lifestyle. Okay, so a lash of the sacred tongs by these holy men, I put of course in inverted comma, was believed to make them better able to bear children. The purpose is just one, for the sake of fertility. But of course they rape women. Alright? So no picture here is way too gruesome, but you can go and Google when you go. Alright? Okay. So Christianity tried, without success, I'm going to tell you beforehand, without success, to stop the evil celebration of Lupercalia, to worship the god of Lupercus now. Alright? So it first replaced the lottery of the names of women with a lottery of the names of the saint. You know who are saints? They are the Christian priests, but of course in higher level. Okay? Yeah, it's like scholar, the ulama. Alright? The idea was that during the following year, the young men would emulate the life of the saint whose name they had drawn. So basically, Christianity was trying to purify the celebration of Lupercalia. Okay, so instead of winning women in the lottery, so people will win a saint. And what they have to do, they will have to emulate. Okay, mengambil contoh to take example of the life of this saint. Yeah, alright. The only success it had was in changing the name from Lupercalia to Saint Valentine's Day. That's the only success of Christianity, to change the name of Lupercalia to be Valentine's Day. Alright? And of course this is one of the what we call it stories. We have many stories here, okay, from different accounts. So Saint Valentine was a person. It was done in CE 496 by Pope Gelasius in honor of some Saint Valentine, which is a person. Okay? Because Saint Valentine was the one who actually came up with the idea. Okay, so instead of winning a woman in a lottery, you will win a saint, and you will have to emulate the life of this saint. Okay, so there are as many as 50 different Valentines in Christian legends. 2 of them are more famous, although their lives and characters are also shrouded in mystery. Yeah, we are going to inshallah, what we call it, to unveil the mystery. Okay, inshallah. So here's the story. Well, stories. Yeah. 14 February is when the Italian bishop Valentine was executed by the Roman Emperor Claudius II for conducting secret marriages of military men in the year of 2270 CE. Okay? Because during the time of Christianity, when they were very busy with war, they basically prohibited the armies to get married, because they wanted this army to focus on fighting the war. Alright? Okay. But basically, there was one Italian bishop by the name Valentine. And this Valentine, Saint Valentine, he basically conducted marriage between the military men and women in secret. But whenever the emperor found out, the emperor decided to execute Saint Valentine. Alright? So Claudius II decided that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families. So he outlawed marriage for young single men who was in his military. And this is also one of the reasons why later on people rebel against Christianity at church. Okay, because they force people to practice celibacy. You cannot get married. Alright? Okay. So Valentine defied Claudius, and performed marriages for young couples in secret. When his action were revealed, Claudius put him to death. That's story number 1. So that's why people celebrate Valentine's Day. It is basically to commemorate the death of a priest who conducted the marriage secretly between young soldiers during that time. Yeah? Alright. So the other version of the story says that Valentine was a holy priest in Rome who helped Christians escape harsh Roman prison, where they were often beaten and tortured. So they considered Saint Valentine as the symbol of love and mercy. So when he was put to death, they celebrate the day of his death. But still, he was a Christian saint. That's the essence. So Valentine was arrested and sent to the prefect. You know what is prefect, right? It's called pengawas, yes? But prefect was actually the name of Roman guards. Yeah? Alright. Prefect of Rome for this. Yeah? So he found that his attempt to make Valentine renounce his faith were useless, and so recommended he be beaten with clubs and later beheaded. Yeah? This took place on February 14, 2017. So Valentine's Day is not so romantic as the way we thought it to be. Okay? It was the day someone was clubbed and later beheaded. Alright? Okay. So according to Catholic Encyclopedia, in that time you can go and Google, or you can find in the library. There are at least 3 different Saint Valentines, of all whom are Christian martyrs of February 14. One of them is described as a priest from Rome, as mentioned above. You can see the Roman one, that side. And then another is a bishop of Interamna, okay, modern Turkey, Italy, and the third from Africa. So right now everybody is claiming that, oh, the legend of Saint Valentine's come from Rome, or come from Africa, or Italy. But which one is true? No one knows. Okay, so not just this celebration was to remember the dead. This celebration also had no concrete evidence, or no concrete foundation. Okay? Alright. So it was in the year of 496 that Pope Gelasius officially changed the February 15 Lupercalia festival to the February 14 Saint Valentine's Day to give Christian meaning to a pagan festival. This is another thing that you have to know. But this will be a little bit long. It will be longer. Yeah? Alright. If you study the history, yeah, Christianity was brought by Jesus. This is what the Christian believe. Of course, in Islam, Prophet Isa brought Islam lah, not Christians. Yeah? Alright. So Jesus was born in many places lah, but you know, people believe it to be Bethlehem. Or some people say Nazareth. Yeah? But these 2 places, they are all located in or nearby the Holy Land, the Jerusalem. Alright? Okay. So during that moment when Jesus was born, this the land of the Holy Land, or Bethlehem and also Nazareth, was basically under the reign of Romans. Okay, under the reign of Rome. It was basically a Roman kingdom during that time. Okay? So after the death of Jesus, there were many priests and saints trying to promote Christianity to be the national religion of the Roman Empire. You get it? Alright. So what happened after that? The Roman Empire, before the coming of Christianity, they practiced pagan religion. They worship deity. Alright? So in order for Christianity to become the national religion of the Roman Empire during that time, so some of the priests, the Christian priests, decided we should adapt some pagan ritual in order to be converted as Christian ritual. Understand? Okay. And one of the reasons why they create Trinity was actually that. Okay? Because you know, in pagan religion, they don't believe in one God. The idea of one God is very weird in pagan religion. So they said, yeah, our God is one, but actually 3. Or 3, but actually 1. It's called Trinity. Yeah? Alright. So the same thing that Pope Gelasius did. Okay, so he adapted the Lupercalia to be the celebration of Saint Valentine's. Okay? The same thing that happened to Christmas. Okay? If you read the history of Christianity, the Christians themselves never know when Jesus was actually born. They never know that. But somehow they choose 25th December every year to celebrate the birthday of Jesus, and it is called Christmas. And not just that. Okay? You know that Jesus was born in Bethlehem and also Nazareth. If you study the history of Jesus, it was never recorded that snow was there during his time. But right now they introduce the Santa Claus with snow cap, someone with sweater, right? To actually create the image of Christmas. Whereas those images they were not there during Jesus' time. So it was actually adapted from the Roman pagan ritual to be part of the Christianity. Okay? I still remember there was one case before. Okay, in America, some school in America, they are trying to be secular. Okay? So they do not allow the celebration of Christmas in the school. Okay? So some Christian parents, they are not happy. So they brought this case to the court. And finally they won. You know why? Because when they studied the history of Christmas, they said Christmas had nothing to do with Christianity. Therefore, it is secular in nature. It is not religious. Therefore, it can be celebrated in a secular country. Understand that? Okay, so they adapted. Yeah? Alright. So the holiday became popular in the United States in 800s during the Civil War. Okay? Americans are also weird, falling in love during the war. Alright? So Pope Gelasius also ordered a slight change in the lottery. Instead of the names of the young women, the box would have the names of saints. Men and women were allowed to draw from the box, and the purpose of this was to copy the ways of the saint they had selected for the rest of the year. Okay, so no more giving women away. Alright, so do they still do that? I don't see people doing it anymore. Do they still doing that? I mean, selling the saint's name? No, right? So they don't. So in fact, it is worse. Alright? So remember when I said that Christian didn't succeed? Well, they didn't. The whole pick your saint lottery did not last very long. Right? But what happened? Instead of following what Christianity tried to implement, the majority of people started to do what we see them do today. What do people do for Valentine's Day? Okay. This is for teenagers. I mentioned doing this now, right? Okay. So a little history lesson. Many customs connected to Valentine's Day originate from the popular belief in England and France during the Middle Ages that on February 14, birds began to pair. But remember, it is just a custom. It is not a scientific evidence. Okay, so they believe on 14 February, birds will go and mate. Yeah? Alright, so 14th and 15th centuries French and English literatures make indirect references to the practice. Those who chose each other as husband and wife on Valentine's Day apparently call each other their Valentines. Yeah, and you can see the note there, will you be my Valentine? Yeah? So in terms of Valentine's greeting, your Valentine, which today you find on a number of Valentine's Day cards, the above mentioned Roman priest Valentine actually sent the first Valentine greeting himself. Yeah? I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, oh my God, really that's so cool, and I know it is true. While he was in prison awaiting execution, he fell in love with a young girl who would visit him. So before he died, he allegedly wrote a letter signed from your Valentine. So he actually sent a letter to a girl right before his execution. Yeah, and it was so sweet. Okay? So in terms of the virtually naked arrow shooting Cupid, there's an issue. Character which shoots people with its arrow to make them fall in love. This character is a vestige of Roman pagan times. Another Roman pagan god. Yeah? Cupid was described as the son of Venus, the Roman god of love and beauty. Yeah? You usually find Cupid's picture on Valentine's Day card. So you can see the mother there, and you can see the Cupid there. Okay, and these two figures are the Roman gods, right? Alright. Okay. Let's see the Islamic perspective on Valentine's Day. Yeah. Number one, we should avoid anything associated with pagan immoral practices or any other religion's ritual and celebration. Okay, remember something. Okay, there is one clear hadith by the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, Prophet said, whoever observes the lifestyle of one particular kaum from other religion, and Prophet said, you will be among them. Okay, meaning to say we should be different from the lifestyle of other religious community. Right? This includes other occasions such as Christmas and even your own birthday party. But of course, this has disagreement between the scholars. Okay? Particularly on the way you should celebrate your birthday. Alright? Okay, so what? Even birthday? Actually yes, there are many Muslim scholars that say the celebration of your birthday party is haram because it imitates the kafir or non-believers. You should know what it means. Okay? But if you read the book on the celebration of birthday party, for example by Yusuf al-Qaradawi, it is stated that the part which is haram is only the part where you dig up the candle. This is according to Qaradawi. Okay? But some other scholars, you can still do that. Some other scholars say you can still do that, but not with the intention of worshipping something. Okay? Alright. So it is the matter of disagreement. So you can choose which one you want to follow. Okay, I'm trying to maintain the integrity of knowledge here. Because some people, they always pick their own opinion. And they forget to highlight the opinion of other ulama. And to me, that's not justice. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what did ulama say, and you choose on your own. Alright? Okay. So we do not need to honor or celebrate the death of a Christian saint. Okay? In Islam, we do not celebrate the death of our prophets or even his companions. Okay, nor any other event in their life. So why do we celebrate the death of a priest of another religion? Okay? Not only it is a terrible event to remember, the lottery and whipping of two women just now, but it doesn't have anything to do with us. Right? So Islam does not encourage flirting or suggestion of romantic relationship before marriage. Right? Just like Shahradah said, okay, we love dates, but we don't date. Alright? We are not even allowed to touch the skin of the opposite gender who is not mahram. Yeah? So how are we supposed to flirt or be romantic with them? And Allah says in Quran, A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim, wala taqrabu zina innahu kana fahishatan wa sa'a sabila, which means, and come not near unto adultery, although it is an abomination and an evil way. Yeah, Surah Al-Usrah, verse 32. Love between families, friend and married people does not need to be celebrated on a day which such an Islamic origin. Yeah. So sometimes couple will ask me questions. So can we basically celebrate each other's religion? Can we celebrate each other? Okay, just to show appreciation. Yes, you can do that, but please don't do it on 14th of February. We have 365 days in a year to choose one. Okay, except 14th February. Okay. I remember last week someone basically asked me, but not from anyone. Yeah, because we basically discussed about what you call it, watul basar. Yeah, you have to lower your gaze. Okay, and I said when you see, for example, sexy woman, you have to shift your sight to another direction. And this person asked me, what if there are so many sexy women? What should we do? Okay, I said it's very simple. I have two answers. I said number one, you can close your eyes. Or number two, we have 365 degrees. If you learn mathematics, you will know this. Okay? In one circle, we have 365 degrees. So you have 365 directions to direct your eyes, or to direct your sight. So don't tell me you have 365 women, sexy women in front of you. That would be very, very impossible. Okay? So you have 365 degrees. You can choose that to do it. Alright? So Islam is a religion and a way of life, with the core being peace. At the same time, we do not neglect to love or appreciate one another. And the love and appreciation is not confined to one specific day, nor should it be enhanced by an event. The love in Islam is always there, no matter the time or situation. Okay, the next one is, Valentine's Day has no basis in the Sharia. It does not state anywhere in the Sharia, nor any Muslim scholar has ever said to follow the practices of Valentine's Day or anything similar to it. It calls to keeping one's heart busy with nonsense matter or love. Remember, Shahradah also mentioned about this. One of the characteristics of the people with taqwa is وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. Okay, those people who turn their heart over the love, al-lagwi. Yeah? So don't keep your heart busy with love. Alright? So Islamically, everything we do should be for Allah and to fulfill our duties to Him. This includes worshipping Him and being the Khalifa on the world, neither of which includes Valentine's Day. Alright? So we actually have a problem here in Malaysia. Valentine's Day celebration becomes more popular among the younger generation due to the promotion of foreign culture through various media channels. The celebration is known to them as a day to celebrate love, which according to them is the most appropriate moment to express the feeling of love and affection towards their dearest and loved ones. Yeah? The festival is usually celebrated at cafes, hotel or any romantic places where couples present gifts in the form of chocolates or flowers that display wording like "I wish you will be my Valentine" to their loved ones. Then the celebration is filled with entertainment like singing, dancing and giving gifts. This does not come as a surprise since the culture is imported from the West that permits all and its hedonism in India. Alright? Lately, Valentine's Day celebration party is being celebrated with various immoral activities as reported by the media. Those who celebrate it spend the nights of the celebration with their partners freely, and some end up with sex parties. Censored, there is no picture. Okay. So how do we stop it? Alright? The only real way to stop it is to tell people how bad it is and try to strengthen their iman. After that, we can only pray to Allah so they may change their ways. Okay? Allah says in the Quran, there is one chapter which is very, very useful to shape the way we think. Okay? Because some people, they always misinterpret fact. Okay? Let's say for example, in Islam, you cannot wish, you cannot celebrate Valentine's Day. Okay? And then people will be like, okay, but in other religion, they can do it, right? So why can't we? Or some people will be like, oh, in Islam we cannot even wish Merry Christmas. But the people from other religion can wish Selamat Hari Raya. So this is not fair, they say. Let's see what does Quran say. Here Allah says in Quran, Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun la a'budu ma ta'budun wa la antum 'abiduna ma a'bud wa la ana 'abidun ma 'abadtum wa la antum 'abiduna ma a'bud lakum dinukum waliyadin. Okay? Allah said, say, oh disbeliever, I do not worship what you worship. Yeah? Nor are you worshippers of what I worship. Nor will I be a worshipper of what you worship. This is what we call ta'kid, to emphasize. Okay? We repeat the same sentence. Nor will you be worshippers of what I worship. For you is your religion and for me is my religion. So if just because other religion allows their follower to celebrate or to do something, it doesn't mean Islam will allow you to do the same thing. Because why? For you your religion, for me my religion. Yeah, lakum dinukum waliyadin. Alright, so it's the end of the presentation. Yeah.